Okay, I'm gonna record. If anybody didn't know, BYU and Utah play tonight, so of course everybody's. Hi, Boston BYU. That's funny. I just feel bad for BYU because they just can't seem to beat them. Just saying. We'll see. You never know. Actually, last year they almost did beat them, and they choked. But okay, so. Oh, Ashley, that's so funny. Okay, guys, what are you struggling with? Okay, so Micah sent me, I don't know who asked it. Is my recording? Yeah. Okay, so somebody asked how to amp up challenge groups, how recruiting workers, and how she works with team, like she does her team power hours, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so how do I amp up my challenge groups? You guys, I've just been using that Mompreneur VA stuff, but I've also this week taken out where it says, like, those of you that have been using it, where it says like what workout you're on. I take that out because most of us are not on the same workout because some people are doubling up, some people started late, whatever it is. So I take that out. I still use the content. Actually, this week I did the Spirit Week for the prizes and stuff, just to like switch it up a little bit and get people a little more active in the group, which has been fun and helping. I do the whole perfect attendance thing. I've done it for a long time with a weekly challenge winner. So I always do a post that does, if you checked in with your shake and your workout, you had to do both. 5 of the 7 days I do a board, their name goes on there, and then I pick a weekly challenge winner. And I usually will just send a tank or something fun, whatever I decide for the week. But I feel like that helps. It just helps people see their name. Like, people love recognition, just to see their name on the board, whether they won for the challenge or not. People just like to be recognized for working hard. And you guys, showing up 5 of the 7 days, I guess for us, because it's our job, doesn't seem hard because that's what we do, like doing our workout, drinking our shake. It's like clockwork for us, but for a lot of people it's not. And so I don't know, it just forces people to do it. And it forces people to actually check in to the app, because so many times people would do their workout but not actually log it. And I don't know if they're doing it. So unless they log it, they don't get credit for it. So I don't know. I just feel like that's all I'm doing in my groups. And I was talking to Ashley yesterday. I set a timer at like 9 at night on my phone to check in to my challenge group, meaning to go and scroll and comment and like on people's stuff. Because if we're not doing it, do you think other people are going to do it? Probably not. So that has helped me to just make sure before I go to bed every night, it takes 5 minutes to scroll and comment and like on people's stuff, you guys. So we can't expect anybody else to be interactive in the group if we're not doing it ourselves. So yeah. And that's
and if you're, I can tell you too, Cozy, because I'm not very good at that. I love that you've been more intentional, but I have kind of delegated some of that to my assistant. Not like when they tag me or ask me questions, but to go through and comment on like every single line. Sorry. I don't know what that noise is. Anyway, to comment on every single check-in, like every single one. So whenever someone's checking in with their workout or with their Shakeology, I just make sure they know they're supported. And I've noticed that ever since I started having her do that, they've been doing that more on each other's too. So it's kind of a ripple effect.
Yeah. No, and I don't know. And you can even do posts like tag 3 people or go comment on 5 people's stuff, and then you can comment on the post that you did it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think that helps. And I do think when we do the Zoom workout, stuff like that, it's fun for people. And we talk to everybody all the time, but our challengers, they're just like normal people before we started coaching. They don't talk to like other moms and other females all day, every day like we do. So sometimes I'm like, oh, the last thing I want to do is talk to more people, where they don't ever have that interaction. So something like doing a Zoom workout once a week even like means a lot to them. So I need to be better at that. So like, how do you guys, I feel like everybody else, this month is kind of blah. So I do weekly team calls still, and sometimes 5 or 6 people can get on. I usually do Tuesday nights, and I'll try to get like guest speakers 2 times a month, and then I just do a mastermind 2 times a month. So I would just do something like this with people that just need help. And so, yeah, it totally helps me. And then I also have been I started in July, and you totally don't have to do this, you guys. I don't have a million coaches that are working. So for me, it's not that crazy and big of a deal for me to do it. And you guys, like, I have time that I can do it. So the first 3 days of the month, so starting next week, except I'm not going to do Monday, I'll do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just do one-on-ones. So I did it, and I wrote down all their stuff, and I obviously talked goals. We do like 15-minute calls, super quick, but it's like following up every month, and it helps them be more accountable to being like, oh yeah, I told her that I was going to do this. You know what I mean? And I just have been doing it once a month, something just to keep these people more accountable. And it's more just like, if you sign up, like, I'm not going to chase you. If your name's on the sign up list and you forget, that's your bad. You know what I mean? I'm not going to remind, and like, I'm not going to let it stress me out about that. So I think that's been helping because it's more one-on-one. I have a new coach thread and one main thread that I use for people that are working the business. Pretty much when they go Emerald and above, I do that. I mean, I have a thread with my diamonds and above, but we don't really talk in there. If there's like a more advanced training that I want them to see, I'll post it and that, but that's about it. Do you do your one-on-one calls weekly? No. So I just do it the first 3 days of the month. I do one-on-one calls, and then the next month I'll do the one-on-one calls. So, but they're super short, like 15-minute calls, nothing long, but it's more just to touch base personally with how their month went, goals for the next month, stuff like that. Yeah, but then I just do team calls once a week. And sometimes I'm like, oh, really? I don't want to, like, I don't have anything to say, but even sometimes we'll hop on for 20 minutes and then, but at least if people have something they need to talk about, like, I can help them. Erin, do you have a question? She's just unmuted. Okay. What kind of questions do you go over on your one-on-one calls? I literally just, like, I kind of let them lead it. I ask what their goals were. Like, I wrote down like their August goals, and I'll let them tell me how their month went and things that they struggled with and things. And I asked, like, okay, I'm really trying to be better at being like, hey, well, what can you do more? What can you do more? And I try to ask them, okay, that's super awesome that maybe you hit Success Club. Like, so letting them focus on, okay, what did you do right this month that you like killed? Whether that's doing all your workouts, that's better than nothing, you know? So focus on what they did right, and then give them tips about what things that they can improve to get to their goals. But yeah, and I let anybody hop on those one-on-one calls that sign up for it, because I'm still at the point with my team that I don't have 50 million people, so I'm able to do that. Obviously, Micah would not be able to because she has 200 people that would sign up. But yeah, so you guys, I don't do like power hours every single day. I should, but I don't. I just feel like I don't want to hold people's hands forever, because people know what to do. I always let people know that I'm here. If they have questions about anything, they can always reach out. I've been reaching out to people the last like week of the month, how I can help them. Like, I reach out to them personally, how I can help them nail down Success Club and what I can do, stuff like that. Kaylin says, tips on expanding and finding real business coaches. I think we all struggle with that. Yeah, we definitely all struggle with that. I feel like I haven't been awesome at that lately, like finding solid business builders, but I've had a few people that have come from just my challenge groups that have been killing workouts, stuff like that, when I check in with them. And I always obviously mention the coach that they can get the discount. But I just tell them that they can like, you guys, anybody can do this. Anybody can do it, no matter where they're at in life, whatever their excuses are, anybody can do it. And I try to also in my stories and my posts talk about how, yes, it takes hard work, but you guys, how it's the best thing in the whole world. Does anybody else like have any tips on getting business builders? Like, I think that's like a never ending, you guys, I think that's more just like finding more and more people. And then 1 out of every 10 of those people end up actually doing what they say they're going to. Yeah, Ashley says, same way to you find your challengers, talk about it. Kennedy, I do not do random one-on-one calls when they ask. I'll say like, yeah, go ahead and sign it. Like, you know, obviously I'll message them and stuff, but I'm not going to just hop on anytime. I don't want people to think that I'm literally always available 24/7. I kind of can be because I don't have kids and I do this full time, but I don't just do it whenever. I let them know that they can sign up for the one-on-one calls in the first week and we can talk about it, but I'll still message them, but I'm not going to hop on a call.
See, Kennedy, and I do random one-on-one calls. So I don't set up like they get a call when they finish the training and they get a call when absolutely necessary. And I definitely am absolutely necessary. Like if we can chat it out, I always am like, hey, let's just voice message because my kids are being wild and we can like figure it out here. But if they're just like, hey, I'm really struggling with this and I can tell, okay, this is going to be way easier for me to just jump on a call, explain some stuff, talk through their fears. Like if it's something that is really holding them back, I want to get on a call face to face, kind of breathe some belief in them so that they aren't held back for like another 3 weeks. Right. So totally just kind of, I would say, obviously do what's best for you. If I didn't have kids and I had like a set block time of like sanity, I would do way more one-on-one calls because they're so valuable. Like, and I feel like that's the one thing where I wish I could do more of them. I wish I could give more of me to my earlier coaches, but I can't afford to spend that time with coaches that I don't know have skin in the game yet. And that's where you've kind of got to do like the balancing act. But if you're earlier on and you have the time, I would pour more. I find people need your energy and your belief more than they need any tool, script, or anything else early on. So take it or leave it, but that's just my 2 cents. What I've seen, like my coaches that stick around versus my coaches that peace out, I'm like, crap, I should have poured more into her because she had potential and she lacked belief and I could have helped her with that. I don't know. And then I've seen like the other way where I get on a call with them and then all of a sudden they like start to take off and you're like, okay, sweet. She's figuring it out. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, and that's, yeah, I mean, and I guess that for me, I'm like, I've done a million one-on-one calls of people that don't do jack crap. And so me, I'm like, no, I'm not going to freaking waste my time over and over and over, but it's worth it. I mean, it is worth it if 1 out of the 6 people that you do a million calls with, like end up being 5-star. It is worth it. But in my brain, I'm like, you're draining me. So,
yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't have it set like you get a one-on-one call every freaking week of your life when you're not doing jack shiz. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like, if you see that they're working and they're trying and there's just something that's not clicking, get on a call with them because usually you can figure it out by asking them questions, getting a feel. So just kind of, I would just do more if I could. Yeah. Is all I'm saying with the people who deserve it.
Yeah. Like if I have coaches that have never shown their face on a team call ever, never have done a power hour, I'm not going to hop on a team call with them. They need to prove to me that they can do a power hour for a week straight. Do you know what I mean? But if they're like full on ready to go and need some help in that way, then yeah, for sure. Might as well. But somebody have anything else? Or are you guys doing anything that's been super awesome and or helping your coaches?
So I have a question. Part of me is like, don't ask this for the time. Whatever, I'm asking a question. So I've been doing it in a group because I hate one-on-ones. I think they're exhausting and I just, whatever, but we've been doing it in a group with 5 or 6. that's once a week. So they basically get a one-on-one once a week, but it's like 5 minutes, 5 to 10, and they all get to hear each other at the same time. So they're kind of bouncing ideas off of each other, which so far it's been really good. My question is, I feel like there needs to be some sort of qualification to stay in it, because I have new people wanting to come in and I can only have so many, or it's going to turn into a 4-hour-long call. So I'm struggling with what kind of qualification I should ask for. Part of me wants to say that if you're in there for 30 days and you haven't hit Success Club, you can't stay. Part of me doesn't want to base it off of sales and wants to do it based off of the tracker. Like, what would be a good qualification for someone to earn to like keep their spot?
I know that Haley Christensen, I can't remember what exactly because she would talk about how she does one-on-ones. And she said that people had to show up every single day for like 14 days. And if they don't show up, whether that's on their social media, they miss a day posting, they aren't doing their tracker, then they don't get their one-on-one calls. So you could do something like that, because sometimes I think it is hard to base it only off Success Club when some people are working hard, and that might be like not the best feeling if you're like, hey, you didn't hit Success Club, peace out. Do you know what I mean? But if they're literally showing up every single day, then I think it was Haley. Well, I know it was Haley Christensen, but I think it was like they had to show up for 14 days straight. And if they didn't, then she would just be like, hey, let's start over. When you hit 14 days, we'll get you back in, blah, blah, blah. So something like that you could do. I think that would be more important than sometimes hitting Success Club. Like, yeah. But anything else, you guys? Is anybody doing a flash sale? I saw some people's posts, a flash sale or whatever. Or like $40 off. What are you guys doing? Who's doing it? I don't know who I saw. Erin King. I thought it was Erin, but she's not on. Oh wait, she is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What are you guys doing?
So we're doing the $10 promo code and then a $10 Amazon gift card.
Okay. So you're not doing like a group or anything. It's just you're just saying it's a flash.
Yeah.
sale?
Well, we did it in a group, but it's whatever promos are going on, and then we're doing the $10 promo code and then an additional $10 Amazon gift card to add on to that.
Okay. And then whoever, they just take care of it themselves, whoever sells the challenge.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep. Yeah.
And Kennedy said for every enrollment, or are you doing like, hey, I only have 2 spots, or there's 2, obviously you probably only have so many codes.
I do have so many codes, but for example, I have like my mom, my dad, and mine. So I have plenty still. And the ultimate portion fix one, so I can kind of play with a bunch.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good idea.
Cozy.
Yes, I don't know who.
Something I did this month too, because I had a lot of codes from like my sister-in-law, my husband, my second, and my first. I sent them to leads that had, or any customers that had recently got BOD or, free leads, whatever. And I emailed them, and in there I put a $10 off code that I told them was specific to them, and I gave it an expiration date. And then I just tracked what codes, and I put next to the code their name. So if they checked out by that date, I knew to erase that code and not give it out to anybody else. But I had people go in and they bought a challenge pack using the code because they knew that it was like just for them. And I had people do it. So
I love that. That's brilliant.
that helped this month.
I love that.
Yeah, I may use that.
Wait, Erica, say that again. What did you do with the code?
Yeah.
So I took all the codes that I had and I put them in my notes on my phone, and then I would email a lead or somebody who just got BOD and give them the link to get a challenge pack, and told them what it included and all that. And I told them I had a code specific to them and gave them the code. And then whoever I sent it to, I wrote their name next to the code in my notes. So if I saw their order come through, I knew that code was taken and I would erase it.
So you went through.
Does that make sense?
You went through and made sure only one code was sent out to all of the people, but then as it came in, you just took it off and knew that the other ones were still available?
So I gave it specific to them though. That person that I sent it to, I
Yeah.
put their name next to it and I just gave them an expiration date. So if they didn't use it by that expiration date, I knew it was free game still. So
Oh,
I could
I
send it to
like
somebody
it.
else.
I love that. Will you send in one of the threads, like the email that you send, like your wording?
Yeah, but I'm headed to the chiropractor. Can I send it later?
Well, yeah, no, just you can send it to one of us.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I will.
No, this second. No, that's so smart. Stop and to send it to us. But yeah, send it. Yeah, that's awesome. That's super smart. And it's people that might just they just need a completion pack or whatever. People that already have BOD. So smart. Or old customers. Lots of times now that you can do the 6 month, every 6 months you get new successful points, then that's old customers that maybe have fallen off that you think would love MM100 or whatever.
Well, and I went through my subscriptions too, and people that had a BOD renewal coming up, like in the next month or two, because if they can get $40 off and get all of that plus a year of BOD or whatever, I sent it to them too.
Yeah, good idea. And I think BOD came out in like October or November. So usually like November, there's a bunch of renewals for when people first got BOD, I think. I can't remember, but I think that's, so honestly, right now would probably be, it's cheaper for them to cancel and redo anyway. So there'd probably be a whole bunch of renewals coming up. Good idea. Okay. Does anybody have any other?
Talk about the Rising Stars thing.
Ew. Okay. So for the Rising Stars, I'm sure you guys have saw the post, but we just opened the message thread and it's for anybody that has 4 active coaches. So, and that's for your whole downline. So reach out to whoever your coach is and we can get you added into it. And we're going to do, it's more just for accountability. We all know what to do. So weekly prizes, like $50 prizes for drawings for people that add a coach, for the next 6 weeks to really help push people to recruit and get to Diamond and get into qual for a bunch of us that maybe need to get qualification for all these things for elite, whatever it is. Micah just posted the link. But 4 active coaches, and then if you have a spouse or a controlled account, you can still qualify. You just have to have the 4 active coaches in that account. So, and you can still be added, or you can add your coaches throughout the 6 weeks when they get the 4 active coaches too. So if they get 4 active coaches next week, you can add them to the thread. But it's going to be super focused on like PD, like making sure they post their tracker, all that kind of stuff that they can just be super accountable for it. So it's going to be like a smaller focused Success Club system thread, but with prizes.
Just people who are ready to run. So we're going to, the weekly prize we're going to do, it's going to be different every single week, but it's going to be like $50 gift card, $50 here. It's going to be $50 of value. And every time they sign a new coach, they ring the bell, and that's how they enter the drawing. So if you sign 3 coaches that week, you get 3 entries into the $50 gift card or whatever. So we're just going to keep it action oriented, high energy, do your shiz, people moving forward. Like, it's contagious when people start having momentum. So we just want to create that environment for people who are ready to just put in the work and put their excuses to the side.
And it's way more fun pushing for, like, so say we have 2 people that have 5 coaches pushing for Diamond at the same time, and then hopefully like shout people out at the same time. It's just more fun. And I'm like, it'd be good for some of our coaches to like meet other people that are kind of at the same level as them. And maybe if they don't have success partners, find people that they can work with, stuff like that, yeah, exactly, that they can run with. So, because that's when it's more fun, is when you really get to know people on a different level and push for things that are on a different level. It's way more fun. So, okay. So yeah, if you're not in it, make sure that you are, and you add all your people. And are we like taking people out of it? Probably. I guess no. Okay. Like if they lose their 4 actives, it's on them. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for hopping on. Do you guys have any more questions or anything? Anything awesome that you've been doing?
Yeah, I'll mention that. So from here on out, every single first Thursday of the month, we're going to have, after this Diamond and Stars, we're going to have a specific 2-star and above call. That's just more, so the 5-star and above leaders have been doing a monthly call where we kind of just share what the game plan is, what we're doing, do a little bit higher level training discussion. And so we're just going to create that for 2-star and above so you can kind of level up. It's going to be really focused on, I mean, the ones that are 2-star, lots of you guys are pushing for elite. Lots of you guys need to get super serious about that if you're really wanting it to happen. So we just want to have a space where it can be that focus. So every single first Thursday, mentor called right after this. So it would essentially be when we were doing the Star Diamond mentor call, we combined those two. So now every one time a month, we'll have a 2-star and above mentor call.
Yes.
Okay.
Super awesome, especially to go into the end of the year. Nail down some more points and stuff. Push for elite, premier, all that goodness. But okay, I will send the recordings to you guys when I get them. Thanks for hopping on, guys. Bye.